How deep does the placebo effect go? Picture for a moment the simple act of taking a pill. You hold it in your hand, you swallow it with a glass of water, and you wait. Yet within this ordinary moment lies an extraordinary potential. The possibility that your belief in the pill's power might spur your body to heal itself, even if the pill contains no active substance at all. This is the essence of the placebo effect, and it opens the door to a profound and paradoxical truth. Our minds and bodies are deeply intertwined, and our expectations play a pivotal role in shaping our experiences of health and illness. Now imagine that this seemingly isolated event doesn't happen in a vacuum. It's woven into a larger tapestry of social influences, biological mechanisms, and personal intentions. The placebo effect is not a one-directional process, it's more like a dynamic, interactive dance. Behind this effect lies an insight from neuroscience called predictive coding. In essence, your brain isn't a passive observer of reality. It's more like a constant forecaster, perpetually generating hypotheses about what should happen next. When you anticipate healing, your brain doesn't simply wait to see if you'll improve. It proactively aligns your bodily processes with that expectation, setting off a domino effect of biochemical responses that can genuinely enhance health. We can see its steps in triads, sets of 3 key elements that move and shift in a cyclical, self-reinforcing pattern. These triads help reveal the hidden architecture of how beliefs become biological realities. In what follows, we'll explore 5 key triads that shape the placebo effect and its mirror image, the nocebo effect. We'll see how our own bodies respond to belief as though it were a tangible agent, how our intentions ignite a physiological chain reaction, how our social surroundings entangle with our private expectations, and how fear can produce harm just as surely as hope can produce healing. Finally, we'll step onto the path of self-transformation, discovering how conscious awareness and deliberate practice can harness this phenomenon for profound personal change. Let us begin this journey by looking into the first triad, where we find that simply observing a potential outcome can tilt the scales of possibility. In quantum physics, measurement collapses a wave function into a definite state. In neuroscience, expectation collapses a range of bodily possibilities into a singular physiological response. While these processes occur on vastly different scales, they share a striking parallel. The act of attention itself shapes what becomes real. Consider yourself the observer standing before a vast field of potential outcomes. Your belief is like a torchlight shining into the darkness. Wherever it points, the landscape of possibilities begins to take shape. When you believe that a pill or treatment will heal you, your brain translates that expectation into real, measurable, physiological shifts. These shifts often involve the release of endorphins, dopamine, and other neurotransmitters, which act as the body's natural painkillers and mood elevators. At the same time, parts of your immune system may become more active, primed to respond to threats and repair damage. These neurobiological changes in turn lead to a tangible, often dramatic improvement in how you feel, your manifested healing outcome. You might notice that your headache subsides, your mood brightens, or your energy levels rise. This outcome isn't merely a figment of your imagination, it's a genuine physical response, catalyzed by your conviction in the healing process. But the triad doesn't stop there. Once you experience that healing, your confidence in the next treatment can grow stronger. You've learned on a physiological level that believing can bring about relief. So each cycle tightens the loop, allowing expectation, biology, and outcome to dance more fluidly together. In this sense, the placebo effect is not a static phenomenon, but a self-reinforcing system, one in which your mind steps forward as both choreographer and dancer, gracefully guiding the body toward better health. Now shift the lens slightly. Rather than seeing belief as a passive observer, let's explore focused intention. This is the purposeful, deliberate form of expectation, the kind you might cultivate through meditation, visualization, or affirmations. You're not simply hoping for a positive outcome, you're actively directing your mind toward it, much like steering a ship through open waters. This conscious focus sends signals throughout your nervous system. Regions in your brain associated with motivation and reward light up, prompting a cascade of hormonal releases. Endorphins to alleviate discomfort, oxytocin to reduce stress, and perhaps even subtle shifts in the autonomic nervous system. Your immune cells may become more vigilant, your heart rate could stabilize, and stress-related inflammation might decrease. This is not wishful thinking, it's a neurophysiological reality triggered by mental intention and facilitated by your body's innate capacity for adaptation. As you persist with your focused intention, you begin to notice concrete shifts in how you feel. This is your subjective experience of healing. Pain might lessen, anxiety may fade, and a sense of wellness emerges. Crucially, once you sense these changes, your belief in the power of focused intention grows stronger, which boosts your future efforts. Thus, the loop continues. It's a self-reinforcing triad where each step feeds the next, illustrating that you can, in many respects, become both the patient and the physician, using your own mind to nurture your body's healing processes. No one lives in isolation. Our beliefs, however intimate they may feel, are deeply influenced by the people around us and the collective stories we share. In this triad, the individual's expectation and the doctor's or community's influence are entangled forces, each shaping the other. When a healthcare provider exudes confidence in a treatment, it often boosts the patient's belief in its effectiveness. The reverse is also true. A patient's strong hope and engagement can enhance the medical professional's sense of purpose and conviction. It's not just doctors who matter, though. Consider the role of cultural narratives, the stories a society tells about certain remedies, the reverence given to advanced technology, or even the collective anxiety stirred by certain diseases. When the community strongly believes in a cure, that confidence can ripple into individuals, magnifying the effect. Conversely, if doubt and skepticism run high, that collective pessimism can undercut personal hope. The final component of this triad is the resulting health outcome. It emerges from the interplay of personal and social beliefs, revealing how healthcare is not just a two-dimensional procedure, but a three-dimensional tapestry of communal understanding. Success, in this sense, isn't determined solely by the chemical properties of a drug or the precision of a surgical technique. It also depends on whether patient and practitioner align their expectations with the cultural context in which they operate. Recognizing this entanglement helps us see healing as a network of relationships, a shared space where our combined beliefs can become powerful agents of transformation. If the placebo effect is a testament to the mind's capacity to heal, then the nocebo effect stands as its cautionary counterpart, illustrating how the power of belief can also manifest harm. Here, instead of a hopeful expectation, we begin with fear or expectation of harm. This initial negativity sets the stage for a physiological stress response. The body shifts into a state of hypervigilance, releasing hormones like cortisol that can suppress immune function, increase inflammation, and heighten one's perception of pain or discomfort. When these stress-induced changes accumulate, they often contribute to a negative health outcome. A worried patient may find that they experience stronger side effects from a harmless pill, or develop heightened symptoms in response to minor ailments. On a broader scale, cultural panic around a disease can make entire communities more susceptible to its ill effects, not just through contagion, but through anxiety-driven responses. Consider the case of patients who were mistakenly told they had terminal cancer only to pass away within months, despite autopsy findings revealing no physiological cause of death. This chilling example shows that the nocebo effect isn't just a mind trick. It has the power to accelerate real suffering, even in the absence of an actual threat. This triad reveals a stark truth. Our minds don't discriminate between beneficial and detrimental expectations. Whether we hold optimism or dread, the body acts upon those signals. In a sense, the nocebo effect warns us that believing in the worst can be as potent as believing in the best. The very same mechanism that orchestrates relief through placebos can summon suffering when fixated on fear. Recognizing this dynamic can motivate us to be mindful of the narratives we internalize, both the ones we tell ourselves and those we absorb from the world around us. In our final triad, the focus shifts to the power of self-transformation. Research in psychoneuroimmunology has shown that patients who engage in daily visualization exercises, mentally picturing their immune cells attacking infections, can experience measurable immune system improvements. Similarly, MRI scans of long-term meditators reveal structural brain changes associated with reduced stress and enhanced healing responses. It begins with conscious awareness of the mind's influence. This is the moment you realize that your thoughts, expectations and beliefs are not merely passive reflections of reality, they are active participants in it. With this realization, the door to transformation swings open, inviting you to harness the placebo effect rather than leaving it to chance. The second step involves intention-driven practices, deliberate efforts to shape your internal state, and, by extension, your physiological processes. This might include mindfulness meditation, in which you learn to observe thoughts without judgment, visualization, where you mentally rehearse desired outcomes until they feel tangible, or affirmations, spoken or written statements that strengthen your resolve and commitment to healing. Through these practices, you begin to cultivate a more harmonious dialogue between mind and body. Finally, these repeated efforts blossom into self-directed healing outcomes. By aligning your internal beliefs with supportive physiological responses, you can reduce stress, alleviate chronic pain, or bolster your immune system, often in synergy with medical treatments. Far from trivializing professional healthcare, this approach complements it, providing a holistic model where the patient's inner world becomes an essential part of the recovery process. The placebo effect, in this sense, transforms into a tool of empowerment, a bridge between the intangible realm of thought and the tangible realm of biology, enabling you to actively participate in your own well-being. Seen through these 5 triads, the placebo effect emerges not as a simple trick of the mind, but as a complex interwoven system. Belief, biology and environment interact in loops of reinforcement, each loop shaped by our individual hopes, our social surroundings, and even our deepest fears. When guided by positive expectation, these loops can promote healing, yet they can just as easily derail our health under the weight of dread and anxiety. What does this mean for us? It means that right now, in this very moment, we hold the power to influence our health, not just through medicine, but through mindset. Understanding the placebo effect in this way offers us a powerful opportunity. We can become mindful of how our thoughts sway our bodies, how communal beliefs sway our personal experiences, and how fear can inadvertently seal our fate, as surely as hope can open new possibilities. By stepping into this awareness, we shift from passive recipients of medical care to active co-creators of our health outcomes. We start to see that our bodies are not separate from our minds, and our minds are not separate from the collective networks we inhabit. In short, the placebo effect reveals that healing is not a static event, but a living process, a dance of intentions, expectations, and physiological responses. By recognizing our own role in this dance, we realize that we always have a hand on the cosmic jukebox. We can choose the songs of healing, resilience, and optimism. And as we do, we step into a fuller vision of what it means to be human, not merely flesh and bone, but living, breathing vessels of possibility, capable of transforming the seemingly impossible into the vividly real.